All right, we are live. So, hey guys, Nikhil here from One Work. If you're catching me on LinkedIn, I'm sure you know who I am. If you don't, I run a YouTube agency. We have a lot of our own YouTube channels as well. And in this video, I'll be breaking down analytics of one specific video, which has reached about 770K views, which we uploaded about 7, 8 months back. And I'll just try to explain to you when we're looking at analytics all the different things we try to sort of capture, try to understand and take into account when we're working on our next video, so that it's constantly improving. So this is a channel, Home Banao. If you haven't heard of it, just go on YouTube and search Home Banao and you'll find my channel. And let's get straight into the topic. So first things first, I mean, whenever you're working on a project like this, or whenever you're working on a sort of video on analytics, you'll of course have access to YouTube Studio. If you don't know what that is, I mean, I've created separate video for that on my channel. Just go check it out, or just Google about YouTube Studio, you'll find it. Now here, the topic which the video I'm talking about is this one, which is, we've done a video on the Chromecast, the dongle which you plug into your HDMI TV, and end up getting a lot of features into that HDMI, into that TV. And to access the analytics for this specific video, you just have to click on this button right here. So I'll just click on analytics. Now we'll be doing a separate video where we're talking about channel level analytics. This video is focused on a specific video, on a single video. So all the different sort of uh, data which YouTube provides for you to be able to, learn and grow. So this specific video, 770,000 views. It has 34,000 watch hours, 34,000 watch hours. 5.4 thousand subscribers were added, and this video resulted in about 26,000 in revenue from YouTube directly. So these are some high level overview, and of course we'll go into each tab and I'll explain to you all the different things right here. So first things is, what I like to spend a lot of my time on is right now. So this video as of now is getting about 254 views in 48 hours, and that makes sense. Like, this particular video has tapered off. We'll get into reasons why this particular video has tapered out, but you get visibility into this aspect. And then here you can see what is the top traffic source. So where is it getting views from? Browse, YouTube search, suggested, etc. I'll explain what each one of these things mean in later on in the video. uh, Going forward, this is a part where I love spending a lot of my time on and trying to understand, how people have reacted to my video. So this is the audience retention graph. For this 9-minute video, the average viewership has been 2 minutes 39 seconds, which is approximately 28.3% of the whole video. So this does not tell you that how long or what percentage of people have seen the whole video. Rather, it's giving you an average. If someone clicks on it, roughly he'll end up watching about 2.5 minutes. And if I look at this graph and you want to understand that how many people have seen the whole video from start to end, so you just have to come to this graph, hover your mouse, and just look here. So 9% of 770,000 viewers have seen the whole video. So they've, from start to finish, they've seen the whole video. So here, 770K views, 9% have seen the whole video. And at each sort of point, you can see, what percentage of people have been there till that point. Another reason why I love, sort of looking at this graph is, it'll tell you what are the drop off points. Where are the locations in your video where people are dropping off? Now, some people ask me this, that how can I have a spike like till 45 seconds, 50% of them were watching, but then 51 second, how did it become 51%? How did it go up? So a lot of you will know this. Many people like to forward the video a little bit, or hit double tap on their phones and the video goes forward. So this will show you that, which is, even if there's a spike, that means that at that point 39% of the audience was still watching the video. And the reason why from 36 it's gone up to 39 is probably because that person has just double tapped and gone forward, or jumped to that specific section. right? And another important point is, a lot of people don't know this, but when you add chaptering here, right, this chaptering, apart from helping a lot of viewers navigate your video better, when you go into analytics, it helps you in your retention graph, in understanding your retention graph, because it will actually give you these sections, right? And you can tell that, from what percentage to, or from what section to what section the retention was really high, and that can be an indicator for you that this section was probably good. So in my case, for example, if you see from the section 2 minute 55 to 3 minute 41, this about 50-second section, it's only gone from 39% to 38%, meaning everyone was continuing to watch during this section. So this is how you can read this specific graph. And then again, going forward from 3 minutes 41 second to the next section, which was around 8 minutes 13 seconds. So it went out when the viewers went down from 38% to 18%. Okay. Now, there's another button here to get into a lot more detail into the sort of analytics graph. So let's click on see more. Now, this is where, if you pair this with a good writer or a good video producer, it can really sort of help them understand how to make a video better. So, what do I mean by that? Okay, so first thing is, when you click on the audience retention, this drop down button, right? And you click on compare to other videos. It's a very powerful metric in that for other 9-minute videos, how do you compare in terms of viewership? So you are the blue line, and the black line here, the average, that is what any YouTube video with 9 minutes viewership has performed. So this specific video till the point of 4 minutes was above average, and then from then onwards it's been below average. Okay, so keep this in mind. This is how you understand this sort of graph when you're trying to understand what worked and what didn't work. uh, and when I say above average, this section, which is from 2 minutes to 3 minutes to 4 minutes, this was significantly above average. So your job as a creator is as someone trying to do video content either for your company or for your own channel, is to try to make sure that you stay above average. Typically that's a good indicator that the video will end up getting a lot of views. Now it's not necessary, but this is just another metric to sort of help inform where you're at. The next part is this. I just love this feature. It was announced recently. It's called detailed activity. So where does this help? When I get into detailed activity, right, I can see at what point people started and stopped watching. So out of my 770,000, right, 673,000 started watching here. At the beginning itself, 22,000 left the video. And why did that happen? Well, they maybe were not interested in this video, right? And the second part is, throughout the video, where have they dropped off? That will actually give you that data. So for instance, a lot of my people at around 11 seconds mark stopped watching. Maybe this video was not for them, maybe I didn't hook them well enough, right? So this gives you that metric, and through the whole video you can see at what points people are dropping off. So here, for instance, right, the 4 minute 15-second mark, 6,441 people stopped watching. And then, of course, towards the end, you have 64,000 people who left. And this is sort of relevant to the previous point which I made, which is 9% of my viewership saw the whole video, right? So this gives you a great visibility of at what points is my video not working. So I absolutely love this. Now, this not only gives you this information, it also gives you information of subscriber versus non-subscriber. So on this specific channel, right, it's a informational channel about products about which go into your home or around home interiors and home construction. So there's very little difference between subscribed and not subscribed. Now, where this will help is if you're working on a channel where you're trying to build a large community, you want to have a big gap between this. You want your subscribers to stay a lot longer, and then people are not subscribed. Even if they drop off, it's fine, right? So this gives you that metric, and it also gives you a metric of new and returning viewers. Now, how is this useful? For this specific video, 87% are new viewers. They're discovering me and this particular channel for the first time. So this means what, this video is doing a great job in finding a new viewership, and that makes sense because this is, as I said, it's a product sort of focused channel. It's about, different things which go into your home. So not many people may or may not be aware of the channel, but they'll definitely search for the product and end up on my channel. And it will give you how a new viewer is reacting to my sort of audience retention graph versus how a returning viewer is. So returning viewer is someone who's already come to my channel in the past. And in this case, when you have a returning viewer, right, you can see that he's continuing to stick, right, to a point where at one point the returning viewer is engaging a lot more and the new viewer is dropping off, which makes sense. And finally, this video was completely organic. But if you want an audience retention breakdown between, if you're running a paid campaign, if you're a brand and you're running a paid campaign versus that video continuing to get organic views, what's the difference between that? Now this will help you understand that if the organic views and paid views are getting similar audience attention graphs, your video team has done a great job. If not, maybe you have to improve your sort of paid views. Typically, I'll probably do another video where I'll show you the difference of this channel. We don't run any ads, but paid views, audience attention graphs are very bad. You have a big drop off initially, and then in this case, at least there's a bit of a plateau right here. But in paid views, generally you don't see a plateau, and this one is because it's only organic. So let's continue to the next part. This was just a breakdown of the initial sort of dashboard, and then real-time views and things like that. Okay, the second part is watch time. Look, I don't know why YouTube tries to highlight this. Once a channel reaches a certain level, watch time will be pretty good anyway. It doesn't really, at least for me, it doesn't really help. Individual watch time is what I'd be more interested in. This is number of subscribers this specific video added, and the last one is estimated revenue. So how much money did this video make from YouTube RPM? So we'll go into this in a bit more detail when I cover the revenue section. So next, let's look at reach, which is where your video is getting discovered. So this particular video, 770,000 views, 8.5 million impressions. So what does this tell you? That YouTube has shown this video in different areas of YouTube 8 million times. Okay. So what are the different areas of YouTube? One is the browse feature, which is the home screen, the subscription feed. When someone opens the app and they click on home on their phone, that's your browse feed, right? Next is the suggested feed. So suggested is also a great source of traffic. In this case, the suggested feed does what? Similar videos, someone who's watching a review similar to this, when just below that video in your phone, you'll have recommendations, or if you're on your desktop, you'll have the main video, and then on the right, you'll have the suggested video. So that's the place where you sort of get suggested views. Next one is YouTube search, very self-explanatory, someone making a search on YouTube and discovering this. I'll go in detail a little bit more of this. Other YouTube features, this can be notifications, these can be other things like that. Direct or unknown, so someone just directly clicked on the link, maybe it was shared on WhatsApp and things like that. And then if I click on see more, it opens up this sort of a bit more comprehensive breakdown, right? You can see channel pages, browse features, etc., etc. So this particular video, for instance, it got most of its view from the browse, which is 80%. And that was because, in my estimation, it had a very high impression click-through rate. So whenever YouTube was showing it, every 10 times one person clicked on it, right? So that's where it helped. Okay. Next is YouTube search was the second place, probably because there's a product review, someone making a search for that. And let me close. Now I want to show you one more thing, which is, if I just scroll down a little bit more, on the right-hand side, it will show me which were the top search queries, which ended up sort of getting a lot of the traffic. Not just that, it will show you what were the suggested videos which drove a lot of traffic for this, right? So in this case, someone made a video of, I mean, if I click on it, it actually opens that specific video. So you can go check out the channel. Maybe that will give you some ideas of what content to make next. And then, of course, externally is when someone is sharing. So many people, I guess, discovered this video on WhatsApp. So let's go further. We'll next get into impression click-through rate. So this is one metric where when you see clickbait videos, right, when they just make you click on that video, this is essentially the metric a particular person is going after. So in this case, this video had a very high impression click-through rate, and it hovered between 6 to 7%. And then over the past few months, for whatever reason, the impression CTR is going up. And finally, the views, pretty self-explanatory. Let's get into engagement. So this is how someone is interacting with the video. So in this case, average view duration, I already explained this to you. How many people are liking this? So this video has a 96% like rate, which is good indicator, and 4% disliked. Maybe they didn't like the video. A lot of, so end screen, what do you mean by this? When I have a video and towards the end, you must have seen recommended videos pop up, right? So this refers to that, which is how many people clicked on the end screen. So in this case, 1% of the people went on to click on the end screen. Let's continue. Let's check out the audience breakdown. So this is a great indicator if you're targeting a very specific sort of audience and you want visibility into that. So how does this help? This video, 70% viewership from mobile. So let's start with device. 17% from TV. Guys, this is a number which has been going up every single day for the past few years, which I've been doing YouTube. Okay, the next one. Now, this is a very surprising thing. But many people don't know this. 80 or 90% of YouTube, active YouTube audience is actually men. So if you have a large female viewership, you're actually an exception. And in this video, 96.7% of them were actually men. So that's the interesting indicator. And 25 to 44 is 60% of my audience, which makes sense. I mean, someone who's looking for a better experience on their TV for this specific video probably makes sense. You will see a lot of viral YouTube videos. They tend to have a younger audience as their target. This was a more of an informational review video, which is why you can say you have a, so this channel has audience which has high purchasing power. So they want to put in their money, they want to buy something, and typically that's between 35 to 25 to 44. Okay, let's continue. You get data of geographic. So India has delivered 95% of the viewership. Makes sense. This particular video was done in Hindi, and Nepal, Pakistan next. Okay, now this is an interesting metric. Okay, so if this particular channel, actually haven't done a great job of converting viewers to subscribers, and to tell you that this is a very good indicator. So 99.1% of my watch time has come from non-subscribed people. That means what, I'm doing a good job sort of finding new audience, but then in the video I'm probably not having enough call outs to ask them to subscribe and things like that. If not, I have seen channels where this is typically 30% subscribed and 70% non-subscribed. This is a very, very bad indicator that I'm not converting my viewers to subscribers. Let's go into revenue numbers. So if you think about it, 26,000 rupees, or just for one video you earn 26,000 rupees, which, I mean, if you're in the US, it's about and let's do some quick math by 84, so it's about $310. Now my point is, think about the sort of impact I may have created for Chromecast with 770,000 views. So even if say they manage to sell 10 or 15 Chromecasts because of it, they have made much more money than what I earned from RPM. So YouTube earning money from YouTube AdSense directly, unless you're in very specific niches, makes absolutely no sense. It just does not work out. And to give you perspective, if I scroll down, you will get this number there, which is how much advertisers are paying for 1,000 views. See, the way a YouTuber makes money on AdSense is advertisers running a bidding on that specific video or those types of videos. So in this case, you have 50% of the revenue coming from skippable ads, meaning if someone who is not on YouTube Premiere or doesn't have an ad block, he comes on the channel, before my video plays, he'll see an ad. So 50% of my revenue is coming from that. Second one is non-skippable video ads. These are sort of advertisers who don't want you to skip. They're like, just watch the ad, I'll pay extra money, and there's the cost for a non-skippable ad is higher. The next one is display ads. You must have seen these, that small notifications which end up coming on any YouTube video. And finally, bumper ads. And combination of all these things, advertisers have paid YouTube 87 rupees for 1,000 impressions or 1,000 views. Out of that, I have earned 33.79 rupees, which is, this is probably $1. This is less than half a dollar. And this is where you have to figure out other sources of revenue. So in our case, for this particular video, we had the affiliate link in the description. We got some sales, not a lot of sales from that, because this is a product which actually got discontinued. So that's one more issue. But other than that, I mean, we make our money in other ways, which is we help build other YouTube channels and things like that. But earning directly from revenue, unless you're in tens of millions of views or hundreds of millions of views, it becomes a lot harder for niche channels, which is why you'll end up finding other ways of doing it. But yeah, there you have it, guys. So this was roughly all the analytics which YouTube provides for a single video, which is why I love it so much. Now I'll show you some more advanced analytics. What we show was the straight up simple analytics which you get in the YouTube studio when you click on the advanced mode or advanced tab. So here you get a lot more granular details. So what do I mean by that? Let's take traffic source for instance. So if I click on, I'll just change the duration from since uploaded. Okay, so we uploaded this on June 2024. It's almost a year now. And I click on, let me click on YouTube search. So here I'll get data of specific search queries and how many views it resulted in, and what was the watch duration for that specific video, for that specific search query as well. So in this case, for whatever reason, Google TV Stick generated 391 views, but it generated a 3 minute 26-second sort of average duration, which is almost a minute more than my average. Okay. Now, not just that, if I go into geography, I can get advanced analytics into which state, which city I got viewers from. So in this case, this is giving me a statewide breakdown. Maharashtra, probably one of the highest speaking Hindi audience, which is on phone, which is why they probably consumed a lot of the content. And you'll see none of the South states are here because this video was done in Hindi, not in English or Kannada. Let's continue. If I go into cities, it'll, now this I have seen works well if you have a lot of US or US viewership. They have city-wise breakdown where you can actually get city-wise breakdown. And then the other advanced analytics, which is what was the viewer age. This I already showed you. What was the revenue source, watch page ads, things like that, etc. And then subscription status. So there you have it, advanced analytics for a specific video and the basic analytics which YouTube provides. So let me switch back to this. So if you have any thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comments. I'll reply to it after the stream. But yeah, hoping to do a lot more of these videos and hope you get a perspective of how we try to learn from trying to look at analytics of every single video and trying to improve it and refine it further. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you all in our next video. Bye-bye.